Welcome to the Shield Football Podcast. I'm your host, Fredo. What up, guys? How y'all boys doing, man?
What's up, Fredo?
What's up?
Come on, Fredo.
What's up? All right, man, I'm going to hit with everybody. Full house today. I got my co-host, DC, my boy, Jay, and that boy, Josh, back again on the cameras, man. What up, Josh?
What's up? I'm glad to be back. Me too.
Yes, sir. Hey, what's up, Jay? How you been, bro?
Man, I'm good. Great Thanksgiving. Great Thanksgiving games. Man, I'm good. Can't wait to talk about this week.
Yes, sir. And then we got our boy DC, man, back from vacation, man. How you feeling, DC?
Feeling refreshed, Fredo.
Yeah.
Enjoyed it. Had a good time out there.
Yeah.
Left a little change, but all in all, we had a good time.
Yeah, the rich kid getting rich over there, huh?
Yeah, oh, yeah, over there, yeah.
The light's still on.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The light's still on.
It will be.
Yeah, oh, yeah. Gentlemen, man, all right. Week 12, man, basically under the books already, man. Thanksgiving week right here. Good games, surprising games. And coach got fired during the whole process as well. But we go get into that some more, man. But besides that, y'all ready to jump in?
Good.
All right. Go ahead, Jay.
All right, let's go. Thanksgiving Day game. Green Bay Packers and the Detroit Lions. Detroit with the upset, 29-22. Jordan Love, 22 of 32, 268 yards, 3 touchdowns. A.J. Dillon had the 14 carries, 43 yards. Christian Watson, 5 receptions, 94 yards, and a touchdown. Jared Goff, up and down day for him. Only 29 of 44, 332 yards, 2 touchdowns. David Montgomery, 15 carries, 71 yards, 1 touchdown. And Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Mm-hmm.
Stupid Eagles on my mind. Amon-Ra St. Brown, 9 receptions, 95 yards. Total. Detroit actually outgained them 464 yards to 377 yards. But Detroit had 3 costly turnovers. And that's how you get upset at home on Thanksgiving Day. DC, what you think about how Green Bay took them down?
Green Bay came out the gate and let them up with that big pass to Watson, 50-some yards in the beginning. And Detroit just never could get back in front. Like you said, the turnovers. That's 2 weeks straight.
Mm-hmm.
They've had about 6 or 7 turnovers in the last 2 games. And until they correct that, they're going to be in trouble. The team's too talented to lose like that.
Right.
Of course. And it's just a matter of time. Aaron Glenn, they're going to put him on notice. I promise you that right now. When you got a team offense that's this good,
Mm-hmm.
and even though it was turnovers, and your defense still giving up these points to Green Bay, they're going to start looking at Aaron Glenn based on the way the rest of the season go, and I feel he may not survive it. I hope he does, but I feel he might not, because they're going to look at that defense and your defense is too talented to be giving up to these guys. Even though the turnovers in the game, I'm worried about he may not make it through to next year. But overall, hey, Green Bay did what they had to do. We're starting to see this time of year where the rookie receivers are starting to show up.
Yeah.
You've seen it in New York with Jalen Hyde. Now you've seen it here with Jaden Reed. Won't be surprised if you see a couple of more down the road start to pop. They got used to the game speed and getting their legs up on them, but that guy Reed's going to be good. He's really going to be good. And it's Green Bay Packers, young team.
Yeah.
If Jordan Love really does figure it out, they should be okay going forward in the future.
Yeah.
But it's all going to hinge on Jordan Love, man. So I don't. Good win for them. It's bad for Detroit. That's a game that they needed to win.
Yeah.
Okay. Now they open the door to let Green Bay back into the picture.
Yeah.
You don't want to do that this time of year.
Yeah. Absolutely. Josh?
Yeah. So I split the game ball between Jordan Love and the D line for Green Bay. Pressure, Goff. We've seen Goff under pressure 2 weeks in a row.
Mm-hmm.
This may be a formula for Detroit. So whoever plays Detroit, put enough pressure on them, getting a crack. Seems like Jerry's gonna turn it over. And for Jordan Love, this is his first game, to DC's point, starting out strong.
Yeah.
He usually has a good second half throughout the season, but this is if Jordan Love can continue to have consistency in the first half of these games, then they're gonna be all right. He was back looking like Baby Rogers, throwing off his back foot. He has some really pretty balls. Pause.
Yeah, pause that.
Pause that. Big
Yeah.
pause.
It's crazy.
That's insane. But no, it was a good game for Green Bay and must win.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. So during the game, I was doing a little bit of research and I figured out when was the last time the Lions won a Thanksgiving game. That was in 2016 against the Vikings. So that was the last time they won at home. And when I had you have these views at home, and the like everybody's looking at you. Everybody in the country, Thanksgiving, everybody's at home. And the way that the Lions been looking this year, you expect them to ball out this game.
Right.
And they failed to do that so quickly. In the first half, they were down 20 on 20-6.
Mm-hmm.
And so they've been catching up the whole game.
Right.
And then those interceptions did not help whatsoever. And this game right here, I picked the Lions to win, and God, they're disappointed, man. And but Green Bay hold it down, so they took advantage of basically the Lions situation, and they just outperformed the Lions that day, man. So shout out to Green Bay for that, man.
Quick side quest that we go on. All right, so you said the last time they won was 2016.
Yeah.
Let's say we were to get a team to replace the Lions as the traditional first game on Thanksgiving. Who would you replace the Lions with?
Man, to be honest with you, man, look, I'm so used to seeing the Lions and Cowboys in every Thanksgiving game. It's so hard not to watch them. But if I had to pick one, I say the Chiefs, bro. Why not?
I'm with you.
I mean, put the good product out there.
I'm with you. That would be
that's a good Thanksgiving.
That would be a good
I mean,
replacement for the Lions. And I don't know how any of these teams got solidified on Thanksgiving, but you can get the Lions off of it.
Yeah. What's it called? So I heard that the reason why the Lions are on Thanksgiving is because the owner of that time wanted more fans for the Lions. So he did the unthinkable. Is like, all right, I'm gonna be the only team that plays on Thanksgiving, and that's why he did it to get more fans out of it. And it went from one game, and then the Cowboys went in from the 1960s, and then from there they added that Sunday night game as well. But also the Cowboys did it for that same reason as well. As soon as they got that tag on them, they were America's team. I was like, why not? And that was smart. That's a smart view right there for those both teams, with the Cowboys and the Lions, to do that, man. But DC, how about you, man? What team would you pick?
The Chiefs is fine because Mahomes is gonna be there for the next 10 or plus years. He's gonna be there for a while.
Yeah.
Let me see. Probably. I'm so used to seeing them two teams.
Yeah.
It's gonna be tough. I would, even though I'm going to go with a more traditional team, maybe the Packers. Maybe somebody put a pedigree like that, just a more traditional
Packers at home.
team.
Yeah.
Okay. Probably somebody like Green Bay.
Only other one I could think of would be Chiefs and then Steelers. I think the Steelers would be a real good Thanksgiving morning team.
Yeah.
But other than that, only thing I got left for this game is Detroit, multiple 3 turnover games back to back. They gave up a real good chance of being 2 seed. Now that they look like they're gonna get caught, and it's a missed opportunity.
They had a chance for the 1 seed.
Because
you don't know what's going on between Dallas and Philly coming up.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
They had a chance to run it all the way through.
Going into the game, I thought they would end up being 1 seed because I didn't know how the Buffalo game was going to go for the Eagles. But man, this they shot themselves in the foot. Yeah,
and of course, the Eagles got to play the 49ers.
Right.
You don't know how that's going to go. So they really shot themselves in the foot. They have to be the number 1 overall seed.
It was a tough gauntlet for the Eagles, and then they should be rolling.
Yeah.
So it's still not over, but they don't seem like the same hope the same hope isn't there for them right now. But yeah, that's what I got.
Okay. All right, y'all boys got anything else on the Lions and Packers? No. All right, let's move on to the next game, man. We have Jerron's and Josh's Cowboys versus the Commanders. Final score 10-45. Cowboys take care of business in Thanksgiving Day, man. Let's go to some game leaders real quick. Let's start off with the Commander side of the ball. Harwell, he threw for 44, completed 28, 300 yards, and 1 interception. Top rusher for the Commanders, Robinson, 15 carries for 53 yards. The top receiver from the Commanders was Samuel with 9 catches for 100 yards. Now to the Cowboys side of the ball. Prescott, he threw for 32, completed 22, 331 yards for 4 touchdowns. Have a day, my guy. And top rusher for the Cowboys, Pollard, he carried the ball 13 times for 79 yards and 1 touchdown. Top receiver was Brandon Cook for 4 catches, 72 yards, and 1 touchdown. Team stats for the Commanders, 376 total yardage, while the Cowboys had 431 turnovers. 1 for the Commanders, 0 for the Cowboys. Time possession. This is very shocking to me. 37 minutes for the Commanders, but 23 for the Cowboys. So that being said, on this divisional game, this puts the Commanders at 4-8, last in their division, and this puts the Cowboys now at second place with 8-3. DC, what are your thoughts on this game, bro?
Man, they ran like 25 more plays than the Cowboys. It seems like in the Cowboys, 8.6 yards per play. They play warm out, man. Once the Cowboys firing on all cylinders, man, they moving right along.
Yeah.
Getting coaches fired. The only thing I'd like to see a little bit is a running game.
Yeah.
I want to see the Cowboys balancing more out a little bit, because when you're playing Philly and you're playing San Fran, those are 2 balanced teams. They can beat you from anywhere on the field.
Right.
Now, I would like to see the Cowboys running game get a little bit better. Once they get that figured out, then it's going to be hell on wheels. But that's the one thing, that's the only issue I see with them, is getting the running back up the par.
Yeah.
Even if it's both running backs, but just some type of running game, just to open up the playbook more. So like I say, the other teams, those other two teams, they've been doing that. You look at their stats and it's real. You might see 200 passing, 200 rushing. But once the Cowboys get to that point, then it's going to be a problem.
Yeah.
For sure. But overall, they doing what they're supposed to do. They just beating the hell out of folks. They really are.
And they should.
Once they get ahead of you, it's a wrap.
Yeah.
It's a wrap. Yeah. CeeDee Lamb's looking like what CeeDee Lamb's supposed to look like the last 4 or 5 weeks, man. Hadn't been nobody playing better than him. Maybe Keenan Allen was good.
Yeah.
But other than that, man, he's been big dog the last few weeks.
Josh?
Yep. Biggest highlight for me is Dak is a daddy now. Pun intended on multiple fronts. He's balling at the top of the MVP race right now. He's clicking on all cylinders, and even though he's played some below 500 teams, I think his play translates. But to DC's point, got to get the running game. So we're gonna need that balanced attack. But it was a good game. Made a good Thanksgiving for us. We was yelling, having fun. It was a good Sunday. Shout out to Bland breaking the record. That was
that was great.
Great moment.
Breaking the record for interceptions for
pick sixes. Yep.
Okay.
Pick sixes.
Yeah.
Broke the record and still has multiple games. So no one will probably ever break that record.
Yeah.
That's insane. It was exciting. I think one of the other takeaways that I'm excited to see throughout this week, see how it develops, is Darius Leonard, the linebacker pickup from the Colts.
Yeah.
Shaq.
Oh yeah,
Shaq.
So it's between the Eagles, Cowboys, and he's visits the Cowboys this week, right?
Yeah, this week. Yeah.
And I think that's going to be a pretty good sound factor. But other than that, win.
Okay. Jay, talk to us about your Cowboys, man.
First things first, Jerry's big check. Shaq Leonard, bring him in. We can't play games.
Yep.
It's getting too dicey.
Yep. On the table, got you.
And then so after that, Dak is hitting his elite status right now. This is the best he's ever played, and he's around that age where you start as a quarterback getting to the best you are mentally. Seeing the game, his arm is looking better than I've seen it look in a long time. His decision making is better than I've seen it in a long time. He's playing the best quarterbacking in the league. Um, PFF on Thanksgiving Day, he's got the highest single game grade since 2007.
Yeah.
97 even PFF grade. If you believe in PFF. They also say he's got 5 games with a PFF grade of 90 plus. No other quarterback has more than 3. So it's just showing that right now he is balling out at a unbelievable level. Can he keep it up? Is the question. Is it a product of who you're playing? Yes and no, but everybody else is playing these cats too, and they're not putting up numbers like this. So we'll have to see. It was just an exciting win. I mean, anytime you win and they don't F up your Thanksgiving is good. But at home, they're dogs. They're the best front running team in the league at home.
They're undefeated at home, 5-0.
They win by 20 plus at home. So we'll see coming up. Got the Seahawks, got the Eagles. But they just gotta keep it up, and it was a good victory, and I hope they can improve their team with Shaq Leonard.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Great win for the Cowboys. Like I said, man, this last couple of games, it's been like practice games for y'all, really, man. But these are games that they should be winning, and it looks like they're taking care of business when they need to, which that's a great sign because the past years the Cowboys would lose to mediocre teams, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But now it looks like they're just having fun out there and they're taking care of business. Also, the defense over there is looking very nice. Like I said, old boy broke the record.
Yeah,
congrats on that, man.
I'm playing,
and maybe I got a feeling he's gonna have at least one more to 2 more in there.
I think he gets one more.
One more, man. So that's good right there, man. Everything's looking very solid for y'all. But I have to agree with DC said, man. Y'all's running game needs to be stepped up because when it comes to these other elite defenses within y'all's conference, man, with the Eagles and the 49ers, you know, they're more balanced, man. So if y'all can improve more in the running game, I think y'all should be straight, man. Y'all should be good.
The only thing I have to say, I want to run in the red zone. I want to be able to do that. In between the 20s, I'm fine with the distribution how it is. Our passing game is just clicking like crazy. Even against the Eagles, like in between the 20s, the passing game is so elite right now that I'm okay with not running up the middle. Like if we're going to talk about this later, but if you watch the Texans Jaguars game, what was the point of it running anywhere? They running first down, they run into the line. Now they're 2nd and 9. So I want to keep the ball in Dak's hands. Let him use his feet to get people open. But then when you get to the 13-yard line, the 12, that's when I want to establish
the
run, get Rico down. Like, get Tony Pollard out. Yeah. Get Rico Dowdle in there. He's more physical, and he'll put his shoulder down. In between the 20s, I'm okay with how they're passing because Brandon Cooks is playing crazy. Even Jalen Tolbert came out, and of course CD is definitely a Pro Bowler, maybe All Pro this year. So that's the only thing I disagree with.
Yeah, boys, got anything else?
Yeah, one more thing. If I'm correct, I think as it stands now, we would have a wild card playoff game against Falcons.
Yep.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
It's basically a bye.
Yeah, a practice game. Yeah.
Practice game. So that's interesting too.
Yeah. And so would that game be in Dallas or in
Atlanta? In Atlanta.
Oh, okay.
And it'll turn into Dallas quick. There's gonna be a lot of blue in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. DC?
Washington. Fired to DC.
Yeah.
Scapegoat.
Yep.
So now we're looking at, you know for a fact Rivera won't be that next year. So what happens to Bieniemy? I'm starting to think that he's going to be back on the market.
And we talked about this last episode.
I don't think they're going to move him to head coach.
No.
I think they're going to clean house, bring it all new, and start what they're on. So at that point now, I wonder what happens where he ends up.
Bet.
He's going to be one of the OCs that's back on the market.
Hopefully he goes back to Kansas City. That was a match made in heaven. They should have never parted ways. I understand who wanted to be a head coach, but go home, get you more rings. Like it's okay to be an offensive coordinator. I would love to be an offensive coordinator. So I don't know.
Especially when you have a quarterback like Mahomes.
Yes.
And make sure play calling went much simpler and easier.
The last thing I have, I give up after this. In the fourth quarter, Cowboys scored a touchdown and hopped in the kettle, pulled out a turkey leg. If you are a Washington Commanders fan, somebody's got to get hurt. Washington, I'm saying it in my living room myself. Yeah. That's disrespectful. You cannot eat a turkey leg in the middle of a game against your rivals. It's just like why a fight didn't happen is beyond me. If I'm Deron Payne, I'm taking somebody out. I'm sorry. Yeah. Look, we're in PC culture. I'm hurting somebody. Yeah. It's over. All right, but that's all I gotta say.
Yeah. One more thing before we got. You mentioned Leonard. I haven't had a chance to ask you since we've been in and out. Trade deadline. How do you feel about the Cowboys not making a move? You see your two biggest competitors. They went out there. They made moves. You see the 49ers seem to be paying off.
Yeah,
15 sacks in the last 3 games.
I was a little down on it because I did want another linebacker, but I think the way that they're shaking out right now, there's not much space they could have finagled. Receiver they're set, but other than that, I did want a linebacker, but it kind of, if they can get Shaq Leonard, it kind of makes up for that, But other than that, it just other teams were in better positions to add somebody because they like Bayer going to Philly and Chase Young going. It was going to work out better just because of who they are, but the Cowboys wouldn't have been able to do that.
My bad.
You good?
All right. So I got to say one thing, man, about the Cowboys halftime. All right. So I was waiting for this joke because they told me to save it. So I'm going to say it.
Go.
All right. So Dolly, all right. Now, someone at my house said it and said, man, that time Dolly was even good. It was when the Cowboys won last time in the Super Bowl.
No, see, the better one was.
What was the better one?
The better one is Dolly Parton's the same age as the last Cowboy. Dolly Parton's 77.
Yeah, we got that one.
So the last time the Cowboys won the Super Bowl, their cheerleaders would be Dolly Parton's age.
Yeah. So yeah, like I ain't gonna lie, bro. She kind of ruined. I'm not even a Cowboy fan, bro, but she ruined the cheerleaders' uniform for me.
Well, yeah.
Can't see that.
All right,
Bro,
all right. So now the question is, let's get real. How many?
That is real.
She's 77.
Yeah.
How many drinks?
Yeah.
On Twitter, that was a conversation.
Okay.
PFT, they were like, "Hey, Dolly could still get it."
Yeah.
So how many drinks, Fredo?
Yeah. Well,
you don't drink, but how many drinks would it take?
So I don't drink. All right. So
You get shot, Fredo.
all right.
He would be like,
All right. So I'm a big boy. So I think for me to pass out, me not have conscience.
So it would take pass out.
It would take about six shots of tequila
Completely blacked out.
and blacked out and not remember. But I mean, that woman has so many injections in her, man. It's not even funny, man. I mean, like, bro, I'm gonna say it, man, but she has better breasts than a 20-year-old.
She paid for them.
That's what I'm saying.
And paid for.
I mean, it just don't look right. That's what I'm saying. That's
Craft.
craft.
How many drinks,
man?
I don't know, Fredo. I'm see if she's trying to pay something first. See if she can pay me.
Let's say she paying.
Let's go take a bottle. Let's go take a bottle of whiskey.
A bottle of whiskey.
Let's go take a
Damn.
bottle of whiskey, Fredo.
Okay, Josh.
Someone said if it was Zach Wilson, 0 drinks.
Oh yeah,
He's ready right now.
ready.
I'm surprised he wasn't flying to Dallas to see her.
Wow. Right.
How many drinks?
Yeah, it's gonna take a bottle
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah. I mean, but
Everclear.
Woo!
Because you know what you
100
see
proof.
on TV ain't what
Yeah,
you gonna
yeah.
see
Yeah.
Or
when
smell.
the clothes come off.
Hey. Yeah.
You know what? I changed my answer. It takes 7 shots of tequila and some cocaine and some methadone.
What takes you back to the
So,
70s?
that boy said some methadone, golly. You can,
Yeah.
you gonna have to be super high.
Yeah, it has to be like a dream. And I'm sorry, it has to be like a nightmare. There we go.
So in that, I would have to probably draw some acid and give me a bottle of Maker's Mark or something like that, and maybe and turn them lights off, and we'll have a good time.
And let me remind y'all, we do not condone alcohol or drugs. So this is just hypothetical. So don't come at us like that. But yeah.
But, all right, so on to the next game, the Thursday night game, San Francisco versus Seattle. San Francisco went into Seattle and bludgeoned them 31-13. Brock Purdy, 21 of 30, always efficient, 209 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Christian McCaffrey, 19 carries, 114 yards, 2 touchdowns. Debo Samuel, 7 receptions, 79 yards. Geno struggled, 18-21, 180 yards, 1 interception. Zach Charbonnet, 14 carries, 47 yards, and JSN, 2 receptions, 41 yards. Dominant time of possession, 35 minutes, 30 seconds to 24 minutes. Dominant in yards, 377 yards to 220, and 2 turnovers for the Seahawks, 1 turnover for the 49ers. What y'all think about this game?
DC?
Man, 49ers playmakers all over the field. I mean, they did what they want to do.
Yep.
And how they wanted to do it. McCaffrey just does it. Good. I mean, that's what we were saying about the balance earlier. But man, I'm done with the Seahawks. They're toast. They're going to get the brains beat out of them Thursday night by the Cowboys. And I don't see them coming back from it. Geno is the Geno he was 2 years ago. He had 1 year, he got paid. He turned into a pumpkin. He's going back to the old Geno.
New York Geno.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think the Seahawks are done. They'll be looking for a quarterback. Even though he got a 2-year deal, they'll still be in the market for a quarterback, no doubt. Because the receivers are too good. The offensive weapons are too good for this. So I think they'll be looking for one. I'm done with them. So don't be surprised if the Rams end up passing them in that division.
Ooh.
Don't be surprised at all.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah.
They got 2 wins under their belt. So I'm done with Seattle. They're
Josh?
Yep. Confirmation. My take last week. 49ers best team in football right now. Fully balanced, fully loaded on all sides. Purdy is efficient. Made some really good throws.
Yeah. To me, it's you better hope McCaffrey don't get hurt. To me, I think the key of the offense of this 49ers team is McCaffrey. Because once he goes down, I feel like the team is going to depend a lot on Purdy. And I'm not saying that he's not bad, but I'm saying that he needs McCaffrey to be good. And as long as McCaffrey stays healthy, this 49er team is elite, man. But for the Seahawks, like DC said, we expected more from them this year, having the talent they have in offense, and came and put on a good competition with their own rival. Basically, the 49ers went in Seattle, it's one of the loudest stadiums, and they beat the bricks off of you on Thanksgiving Day in front of everybody in the United States, man. Shame on you, Seattle, for not even putting up a good fight, man. Jay?
I got 2 things. First thing, Chris McCaffrey should be in the MVP race. The stuff he does, the way he slithers through holes that aren't really there, his patience, it's crazy. Like he's at a really high level right now. Everything he's doing in the catching game, he have added 5 catches, 25 yards. In this game,
that's what I'm saying.
Ball security is just he is the most important cog of that team.
That's what I'm saying. Yep.
And they're 8-3 pretty much because of him. And then what DC said is true. Playmakers everywhere.
Yeah.
you got your staple in Christian McCaffrey, and then you sprinkle in Debo, then you sprinkle in Kittle. It's
And Ayuk.
they're the scariest team in the NFC, definitely. And then the last thing I have, Seattle, do not wear them uniforms again. Like they don't look that bad. It's just
That era's done. That coloring scheme's kind of done.
that too. And then they couldn't get away with anything. you've got bright lime green, high visibility green, and you tugging.
Yep, you see it.
It's so easy. It's like, oh, that's easy.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you're not gonna get away with any penalties.
Making it easy for the refs.
We're making it super easy.
Yeah.
But Seahawks are done. Had high hopes for them going in, and then they just started sliding.
Yeah. All right, gentlemen, you have anything else before we move on to the next game? No?
You know, we went through all that, didn't even mention they leading receiver. Ayuk.
Yeah. Oh,
The emergence
man.
for him this year, man, it's been a game changer.
Yeah.
This guy, man to man, he's tough to deal with.
Yeah.
He is tough to deal with. His route running, man, precision. I didn't know he was that good till I started watching him a little bit closer this year.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, like he's a headache. Yeah.
Don't forget, I think he was the second. He was picked over Justin Jefferson. He was picked over CeeDee Lamb. He was picked right behind the Raiders guy who in jail for manslaughter.
Right.
So he was the second receiver taken by Kyle Shanahan. So he's balling.
Yeah, it's starting to look like it now.
Yeah. All right, gentlemen, let's move on to the next game, man. We have the Dolphins at the Jets right here. This was the Black Friday game right here. First one right here of the Friday night. The Friday, Black Friday game. Final score 34-13. Dolphins go on the road and take care of business. Let's go to some game leaders. Tua, he threw for 243 yards start over. Tua, he threw for 30, completed 21 for 243 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. Now your top rusher, Morset, he carried the ball 20 times for 94 yards and 2 touchdowns. Have a day. Your top receiver was Waddle, 8 catches, 114 yards. Have a day, man. Now to the Jets side of the ball. Boiler, he threw for 38, completed 27, 179 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. Now he's a third string quarterback right here, so cut him a little bit slack. Top rusher for the Jets, Hall. He carried the ball 7 times for 25 yards, man. What's going on? And his top receiver was Wilson for 7 catches, 44 yards, and 1 touchdown. There goes to some team stats. Total yardage for Miami, 395 total yards, while the Jets had 159 turnovers. 3 for Miami and 2 for the Jets. Time possession, 36 minutes for the Dolphins and 24 for the Jets. That being said, this divisional game puts the Jets at 4-7, third in that division, and this puts Miami holding down the number 1 spot with 8-3 record. DC, what are your thoughts on this game, man?
The Jets are hard to watch. Terrible football. It just goes to show how important the quarterback position is.
Mm.
And the way they're going, man, Aaron Rodgers might well stay where he at. He has 0 chance of changing anything that's going on right now. And in some kind of way, Garrett Wilson is still producing. I don't know how in the world it's happening. 159 total yards. The 49ers ran for that much.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the total yardage. Man, and they're in trouble. They might well go and get back in line for another quarterback. He ain't on the roster. Right. And I'm not talking about Rodgers. He ain't on all these guys they keep running out there. He ain't on the roster. No. So they're in trouble. And Rodgers probably got about 1 more year with that Achilles. I don't expect him to be in that much longer. I don't expect him to be that effective either. Especially with the offensive line as terrible as that is over there. So, and of course, Miami do what they do. They beat up on one of the worst teams. This division maybe turned out to be probably the second worst division after NFC South. When the season all said and done, when we look back, this was probably the second worst outside the NFC South.
Yeah. Well, at least the AFC South has promising up and coming.
NFC.
Oh, NFC South. No.
And they might end up being worse.
Right. Yeah.
Gotcha.
The way everything's shaking out there. So.
Yeah.
That's all I got on that.
Gotcha. Josh?
Yeah. So I got 3 things. Number 1, Tyreek Hill is insane. Tyreek Hill is banged up, bruised up, beat up, and still having 100-yard receiving games since he eclipsed the record. But I think the injuries are something to look out for. But 2 concerns for me for Miami. Number 1 is how long it takes for these play calls. they had 2 really bad timeouts from Mike, and Miami has to have a lot of moving parts in order for their play scheme to work.
Right.
And if he's not efficient with his play calling,
Mhm.
then it's going to take too long for them to get these plays in. So going deeper into the season, I think that's going to be something that they have to work on and get those plays out. But also Tua and these turnovers
Yeah.
are going to be something that they have to
That's the one.
bucket down, because last season Tua had some turnover problems throughout the season. We've seen Miami have some turnover problems, so yeah, they gotta get that fixed ASAP.
Yeah. Jay?
Yeah. Tua, these turnovers counted for 3, 2 picks, 1 fumble, and the team goes as he goes. Yes, they are explosive. Yes, they can get 200-yard receivers at will almost, but we saw against tougher competition against the Eagles. If they can't get Tua to be more accurate, and accurate down the field, they're not going. It's not going to work out. I still want to see them against the cream of the crop. This game was a Black Friday game. It was a real Black Friday for New York. And then my last thing is, we're being robbed of a great Garrett Wilson year.
Mhm.
Like DC said it. He is getting open. He is top 8 receiver in the league, and they don't have anybody to deliver the football to him. His receiving routes are crazy. He's getting open, and he's making contested grabs. He's doing everything he can do. And there's not many receivers I would draft over him. If you threw every receiver in the league, him and Brandon Ayuk I would have a tough decision, because they playing on the same level. It's just he ain't got the offensive scheme or the quarterback talent. But shout out to him. He's balling.
Absolutely. All right, man. Y'all boys got anything else
One
from
more
this game?
thing, they need to throw the stadium away.
Oh yeah. Oh
Just-
yes.
Just light it.
Yes.
I don't know how they need to throw it. Just completely get.
So why you say that?
The turf?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
They've produced some of the worst injuries.
Oh yeah. So I heard about that. So I was saying they were saying that it's because they put the cheap turf in there, and so far, they produced the most injuries out of any stadium
Right.
in the league. So I'm afraid because the Texans are going up there in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So
And just think about it. You have 2 home teams sharing.
exactly.
That should be the best turf.
Right.
They should redo the turf every 4 to 5 weeks.
Yeah.
And get really good premium turf, or just make it grass.
Right. It's going to go
Yeah.
grass.
Go to
But like I get it. Like it's hard to maintain good grass in those northern states,
That's true.
but that's why they knew that stadium was going to be for 2 teams. Why not put a dome over it?
Right.
Like I understand, they want to keep the old fashioned stuff. I don't know about y'all, but I like more of the closed stadiums, especially in the northern states.
Mm-hmm.
I get it. You want home field advantage, you want all that, but you got to think about long terms. That's why the Super Bowl never hosts an outdoor stadium,
Mhm.
especially in the cold. They won't go over there. They refuse that because nobody wants to be in a damn cold like that. It doesn't help that you're going to pay a lot of money to freeze your asses off. I mean, seriously. I mean, you got to think about stuff like that in the future, especially when a prime location like New York. You got to think about stuff like that. And now teams hate going over there to go play against these teams because there's a possibility that one of their players, maybe 2, are going to get hurt playing this. And that's a great point you pointed out, Jerron. You got 2 teams
Mm-hmm.
that play there, so that there was the more injuries now. So
Yep.
yeah, that's a great point.
Yeah, but Fredo, you say the northern teams, but Green Bay and Pittsburgh do it. So there's no reason why the Giants can't
yeah,
do it.
That's
yeah.
a fact.
Yeah.
No
But
excuse.
it's ownership now. I
Yeah.
mean, but you got 2 owners. Why not go half on it?
That's why I'm saying
Yeah.
why is it such a struggle to get better turf or constant rotating your turf? Because that is where Achilles go to die.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like ACLs and Achilles. Sterling Shepard.
They had 10 over the last 3 years. I remember Solomon Thomas. Yeah, Raheem Mostert. One of the Bosa brothers.
Yeah.
Just been name after name.
Rogers.
Rogers. Yeah. On that field, man.
It's just
either Achilles or knees go.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. And when I saw the image when he popped his Achilles, bro,
I hate it.
That looked nasty.
I hate it.
You literally see that calf pop.
You can see it both of him, Rogers and him.
Yeah, I can't. Every time it came on my feet, I hurry up and got. That makes me too squeamish.
Yeah. All right, Jay, want to take the next game?
All right, we're going to Houston. H-Town, Jacksonville visited the Houston Texans, come out with the victory, 24-21. Improves to 8-3, while Houston drops to 6-5. Trevor Lawrence, 25-38, 364 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Travis Etienne Jr., 20 carries, 56 yards. Calvin Ridley, 5 receptions, 89 yards, 1 touchdown. CJ Stroud, looking like CJ Stroud, 26-36, 304 yards, 2 touchdowns. And the leading rusher, CJ Stroud, 8 carries, 47 yards, and a touchdown. And then the leading receiver, Nico Collins, 7 receptions, 104 yards, 1 touchdown.
Oh, Dave. Yeah,
for real. Jacksonville outgained the Texans 445-352. And Jacksonville had 1 turnover to 0 turnovers for Houston. Jacksonville also controlled the clock. 33 minutes, 54 seconds of total time of possession. How do we want to do it? Do we want to start with DC or would we like to start with Fredo?
Yeah, so I'm gonna take this one first, man.
All right.
This was a very good competitive game, divisional game right here. First of all, man, big ups to the Jags coming in here, and the Texans played very well. Questionable calls though, man. Overall, I wasn't too satisfied with it, man. I think the Texans should have played a little bit smarter. I think they were trying to do too much with so little what they had going on at that moment. With that being said, is like we knew the Texans have been struggling with the running game for most of the season. You know, ever since Pierce has been out, Singletary has been playing very well, and the running game total yardage, man. They only had 90 yards, and for this game right here, man. And what the hell happened, man? And like, why did you run the ball more? And then and then I felt like the Texans were trying to just pass the ball a lot, which I don't mind. But why would you want to, when you're in 4th and 1 and you want to like throw a 20-yard bomb? That's not smart play calling. I don't know why they did that. And on top of that, you want to throw it to Schultz. You know, he was pretty much covered that whole time. Why not go for like a quick slant on 4th and 1? You know, something they weren't expecting. Maybe they were expecting a run or something, but the play calling just wasn't there. And then also, I hate to be that fan that says, "Oh, we lost because of the ref." You know, mind you, there were some bad calls from the refs on both of them, but I feel like they were more leaning it towards the Texans getting penalties, man. And then that Tank Dell catch, that was a catch. In my opinion, when you see the footage of him having the ball and his 2 feet are touching the grass, and that's a completely catch right there, man. Like, I don't know. I get it, man. Like on fast speed, they called it incomplete. But when you slow it down, you have the cameras pause, it's a catch. You know, but that's one of the things I don't want to be that fan that says, "Oh, we lost this because of that." Me personally, I feel like the Texans had many opportunities to win this game, and they let the Jacksonville Jaguars basically do what they wanted to do, and the Jaguars were playing phenomenal. And shout out to Calvin Ridley, man. He finally shows up. For the past 2-3 games he hasn't been balling out. And Lawrence, like I hate that they say he's that 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 unbelievable generation quarterback.
Phenomenal.
Yeah, I really don't want to give him that much credit. Me personally, I feel like he hasn't done anything that could give him that title. But I feel like it was just a good win for them. Well, I feel like what hurt the Texans really was the secondary. If I had to pinpoint the reason why we lost is because secondary is because they gave up at least 5 plays, 40+ yardage.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I feel like it really, like I feel like that we were missing that piece from our safety. And I think of our safety from the one that we just got from the 49ers. What's his name? Woods. I feel like if we would have had him in the game, that would have been a big difference right there from the secondary. Just because Lawrence was throwing the ball to receivers wide open, so yeah, DC, I don't want to talk about this shit no more. This shit gets me frustrated, man. The Texans have so many opportunities. DC, what we think, DC? What happened?
4 sacks.
Yeah.
I seen the 4 sacks on Stroud. Number 2, Stroud was the leading rusher.
Mm-hmm.
And he's not even running quarterback.
Nope.
See, guys like Lamar and Josh Allen and maybe Jalen Hurts can probably get away with that kind of stuff. But for him, that means he was running for his life. When I see those numbers, when the 4 sacks, he's the leading rusher. I mean, he's running for his life.
But also, DC, I feel like some of those sacks he could have prevented if he just throw the ball away. Exactly.
Yeah. He was holding the ball. Yes.
Yeah. All right.
Another thing, field goals. 2 missed field goals.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like you say, the Texans had a chance.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
The 2 missed field goals. But another thing, you're going to get to this time of year, Fredo, you're going to see those games. Because what's happening is you're getting film.
Mm-hmm.
You're getting more and more film on Stroud.
Mm.
So he's creating tendencies and habits. And as he go along, defensive coordinators are going to start picking this stuff up, So don't be surprised if you see another game like this come up.
Oh, no, yeah.
But he's legit. We know that part. That's going to be okay. Jacksonville, hell of a game. Calvin Ridley in the fold, this team is interesting to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
When you put Calvin Ridley in the game, it gets more interesting. Like I told you in the beginning, he's up there with those other, like with the A.J. Browns and all those guys. If you give him the opportunity, we forgot about it because he sat out that whole year.
Mm-hmm.
But he is just as talented as any of these other guys we see putting up numbers.
Mm-hmm.
But you got to get him involved. He's as good as Diggs. He's as good as Cincinnati receiver.
Mm-hmm.
He's as good as those guys.
Yeah.
But you just got to get him involved from the jump.
Yeah.
You don't let him run routes the whole first half and then try to get him involved in the second half. These stud receivers need the first quarter. These guys need 3 or 4 targets out the gate. And you'll see what it looks like at the end. But now that he's involved, this team is a lot more interesting to me going forward now because he's a beast. He's throwing the ball.
And also, let me throw this out there for y'all. The Jaguars are 5-0 away this year. So on the road, they're taking care of business.
Mm-hmm.
It's like they play better on the road than they do at home. And remind y'all, they played 2 games in overseas. So, I mean, look, I'm not taking anything away from the Jaguars, man. This is a hell of a win for them. It just, I just feel like the Texans had so many chances to take over this game and have control over it. It's just the little mistakes, man. It's just little things. And like DC said, the field goals as well. If we would have hit on both of them, we would have won the game. But the fact is, I've been saying this since Fairbairn, our main kicker, has been out. This kicker flirts with that damn goalpost a lot, and that's what he does, man. He flirts with it. He can't have one right in the middle, and it concerns me, man, because we still gonna be without our main kicker Fairbairn for another game.
Mm-hmm.
So and this is another team we go play coming up with the Broncos. So the Broncos ain't they're looking like they should be now. The Broncos look legit. So now that the Texans, like DC said, that teams got feeling on them, it might be a concern. But I'm not concerned for CJ Stroud. I'm just concerned everybody else around him. They need to step up, and special teams and a lot of penalties as well, costly penalties that the Texans created on themselves that they could have avoided, And like I said, the refs weren't on our side that day, man, but God, man, like a lot of penalties went against the Texans that it shouldn't, man. But Josh, go ahead, man. You got anything, Josh?
Yeah, just a few things. I think I like how ballsy Houston has been playing
Yeah.
the last couple weeks. Really, this season they've been able to let it fly. Stretch it a little bit, get a little outside of themselves. But I think it's time to start reining it in just a little bit.
Like towards what?
So play calling that like you said, that fourth down
Yeah.
call, like you can be a little bit more conservative on
Exact.
that
Okay, I
end.
agree with you. Absolutely.
CJ can keep letting him fly, but also sometimes he looks like he's still at Ohio. He's kind of running around doing this thing, which is cool,
Yeah.
but you gotta be careful, especially in games like this.
Yeah.
But my biggest takeaway from this game was just excitement over this division.
Yeah.
I think we're seeing the rising of one of the strongest divisions for the years to come. One of the youngest, but these teams are gonna be good for
Yeah.
a minute. We've seen a rivalry
Yeah.
come forth, and we haven't really seen them being in a rivalry situation.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
for the next couple of years, the Jags and Texans are going to be battling head. So that's going to be fun to see.
Yeah. I'm excited for that. Jay.
One thing I have to disagree with is I got to bash on the Jaguars a little bit. This actually should have been a Jaguars blowout. They kept the Texans in the game. Jaguars they're the king of too cute football. The stuff they do is straight out of ACC football. Let's go down to second quarter, 1 second left on the clock. They do a pitch play that had no chance. You took the ball out of Trevor Lawrence's hands and you throw it to an edge, and knowing the team that you playing against, their edge defenders crash. Like if it's anything on edge, they're flowing. So you give them time. You pretty much tell them what you're going to do by how you formation up, and they ran. All right, so okay. You get the ball at halftime. After halftime, you run a fake screen and go. And yes, Petrie held the hell out of Ingram, but in that moment, there's no point. It was 2nd and 1. Why are you running anything like that? Get the 1 yard or do a better concept than a fake screen and go. And yes, Petrie held, but still, why would you put yourself? Even if he didn't hold, it had to be a really good throw to force Trevor Lawrence to make that throw. And then after that, I think the refs were like, "Hey, we screwed that one up. We got to start calling some stuff for the Jaguars because they went lopsided. Yes, they messed that one up, and it gave the Texans a touchdown, but the refs just was like, "Hey, look, we missed that one, so we're gonna give y'all a touchdown itself." The Jaguars had 4 first downs due to completion or due to penalties.
Yep.
Texans had 1.
Yep.
And then they missed the Tank Dell. Tank Dell is becoming a monster, man.
Yeah, he is.
He reminds me of a more wiggly Deshaun Jackson. He's Deshaun Jackson. Deshaun Jackson had the deep speed. He's got the deep speed, but he's got the wiggle too.
Yeah.
He's got the stop start. I'm gonna catch it and the body
Make you
control.
miss.
He's Deshaun Jackson. Just give him some time.
Yeah.
Give him some time. And the Jaguars really won this game in the trenches. Like DC said, 4 sacks. They had 7 more hits on the quarterback. Trevor Lawrence clean. No sacks. Nothing.
Yeah.
It was just a missed opportunity by the Texans.
Yeah.
One thing on Tank. Most touchdowns by a Texas rookie. Tank Dell has 7 in 10 games. Andre Johnson had 4 for the year. Will Fuller had 3. So Tank Dell is balling. I do think the Jaguars played so cutely that it got them big plays, but it also kept the Texans in the game, and they just couldn't capitalize, what you like you said, with the mistakes.
Yeah, absolutely. But overall, man, I'm excited for the Texans this year. The Texans are doing way more than we expected.
Yes.
You know, at least in my eyes, I say they will win anywhere from 8 to 9 games. I think they're going to reach more than 8 games this year for sure. But now this right here was a must-win game, but now it's gonna be hard for them to win the division. Now, unless the Jaguars all of a sudden just deployed.
Mhm.
But if the Jaguars keep going the way they're doing, I think the division's theirs for sure for the taking. But now with this game right here, it's gonna be very hard for the Texans to take the division. Now they gotta hope that if they can make it to the playoffs with the wild card. And now the Texans are in the third in their division because now since the Colts won, now the Colts are second.
Colts are coming up.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be harder. So this right here was a very unfortunate win that they had to win, man. But you know what though, man? I can tell you overall for the Texans, I'm excited what they're putting on the field right now. So yeah. Guys, y'all you got anything more
Nah, next
on
game.
this? All right, next game. Give me a second. All right, next game, man. We have the Saints at the Falcons divisional game right here. Final score 15-24. Falcons take care of business at home. Real quick, let's go to some game leaders and start off with the Saints side of the ball. Carr, he threw for 38, completing 24, 304 yards, 1 interception. Top rusher was Kamara with 15 carries for 69 yards. The top receiver was Olave with 7 catches, 114 yards. Man, have a day. Now to the Falcons side of the ball. Ritter. He threw the ball 21 times, completed 13 for 168 yards, 1 touchdown, but 2 interceptions. Top rusher for the Falcons, Robinson. 16 carries for 91 yards and 1 touchdown. Have a day, man. The top receiver from the Falcons, London. He caught the ball for 5 times for 91 yards. And team stats, total yardage for the Saints, 444 total yardage, while the Atlanta had 396. Both teams with 2 turnovers each. Time possession, 31 minutes for the Saints and 28 minutes for the Falcons. That being said, for this divisional game, this puts the New Orleans Saints at 5-6, second in their division, and this puts Atlanta 5-6, holding down the number 1 spot in their division.
Ew.
DC, what are your thoughts on this game, man?
I think the Saints ownership may be too nice, but this coach got to go too.
Mm.
Either another. Ain't nobody been talking about him.
Mm-hmm.
He's got to go. I understand Lattimore didn't play yesterday, but and of course Carr threw a pick six. That was part of it, you know. But to Atlanta, with Ritter turning the ball over twice, you still should have managed something, you know. But Olave was on his way to a monster day. He got knocked out in the third quarter with a concussion, and of course Shaheed went out also. So they, Michael Thomas already on IR. They got really thin at the receiver position. But either way, the Saints should have figured out some kind of way to pull this off. They're gonna mess around and be in trouble here real quick. You said Atlanta's in the first place? No.
Yeah. Atlanta.
Unbelievable.
Yep.
But I think they're about done too. I think they are. And they don't be surprised if they come up with a coaching change also. Because it's ridiculous, man. Unbelievable. And with Bijan, good. Smith doing something right a little bit anyway.
Yeah.
But his ass is on his way out too.
Yeah.
If we say that today, by the time the season's over with, even if they make the playoffs some kind of way, I think they still toast, man.
Yep.
You got to move on from it.
Yeah.
You can't go forward with this guy or this quarterback. So this division right here is in shambles.
Yeah.
I don't know where it's going to go, what it's going to be like in the next few years, but I feel like it's going down the toilet. Yeah, with a lot of talent in it.
Yeah, absolutely.
If some coaching changes made, it's going to be just a bad division.
Yeah.
Wow.
What's it called? Like I saw a video that Ludacris was coming down from the Raptors singing "Move, Get Out the Way."
Yeah,
man, I'm pretty sure. What's it called? Like that right there would have been tight to see. You know, to me, I feel like that song just motivates me already, man. Like so, I don't know. Like I think it would have been badass if I would have saw that in person. Also, if I see Ludacris coming down. Josh, what are your thoughts, man?
This sucks. This game
Yeah.
sucks. The team suck.
The halftime show was better.
Was and that's what I was gonna say. The highlight of this game was the them honoring hip hop. This is the 50th anniversary of hip hop, so that's why all the Atlanta rappers were there. So they took time before the game and during halftime to bring all the
Atlanta.
Atlanta historic rappers.
Yeah.
So yeah, everybody, Mike, you had Ti, you had all the big Atlanta rappers out there on the field.
Was Outkast out there?
I didn't see them. I didn't see it. You know Andre 3000 somewhere in Norway or something.
Yeah, he's out there
playing the flute.
Yeah, he's out there looking for butterflies.
Yeah, that was the highlight of the game. Just recognizing hip hop turning 50. These games suck. I knew it was gonna be bad when Falcons named Ritter as the starter for the rest of the season.
Jay.
This is the B. John we've been waiting for. Use him in every facet. Really good touchdown catch on that wheel. This is how you use him. It just took you 12 weeks to do it in the running game and the passing game. And then for the Saints, man, Taysom Hill needs to be, I'm sorry to say, the focus. He needs to be run, pass, catch for them to have an efficient offense. It looks like when you get to the red zone, he needs to be running the ball from the quarterback position. When you're in between the 20s, you need to focus on getting him the ball as a tight end position. And then when you're backed up, hell, put him at running back a little bit. They don't have much. When Olave went out, it was over. Yeah. And Derek Carr already is. He wants to give the ball away. And then, I mean, that's pretty much it. That pick 6 in the red zone was terrible. Yeah. I don't know what he was looking at. I don't know. He's been in the game too long to get robber coverage that way and to willingly just hand the ball to that defensive back. But I mean, 5-6 and 5-6. That's what are we talking about?
Yeah. The thing with the Saints, they were 0-5 in the red zone. You never win. No sacks.
Taysom Hill.
No sacks. 0-5 in the red zone, no sacks. And back to the Bijan. Man, Arthur Smith might be to rob this guy the offensive rookie of the year.
Yep.
You know, he probably would have robbed Stroud, man. If you've been using him like this from the beginning, he's one of the few guys I think that had a chance. Him and Jameer Gibbs, but Montgomery won those plans. Yeah. But he'd have messed this guy, and I think he would have been. We'd have been talking about those two right now, neck and neck for the offensive rookie of the year. Yeah. But Arthur Smith messed that off.
Yeah, he did. All right, gentlemen, y'all have anything else from that game? From the Birds and the Saints?
No, let's go to the Steelers Bengal game. Steelers improved to 7-4, 16-10 victory against the Joe Burrow-less Cincinnati Bengals. Kenny Pickett, 24-33, 278 yards. Najee Harris, bounce back game, 15 carries, 99 yards and a touchdown. And Pat Freiermuth came back, 9 receptions, 120 yards. Browning for the Bengals, 19 of 26, 1 interception, 1 touchdown, 227 yards. Joe Mixon, wow, 8 carries, 16 yards, and then Jamar Chase pretty much saved a bunch of interceptions. 4 receptions, 81 yards. For in that situation, he had a day, to be honest, for what he was dealing with. Cincinnati only had 222 yards, and then Pittsburgh had their first 400-yard game of the season. And news is they fired Matt Canada before the game, and then they had a quote-unquote offensive explosion. DC, what you got?
Of course, we know Cincy. Like you said, they only had 222 total yards. They had 0 rushing first downs. Just a terrible day. 25 rushing yards, period. So we know they're done. I don't know how that's gonna look going forward. I don't know if Jamar Chase sticks around for the rest of the year or not. Maybe Higgins may not even come back. The way this thing is looking for what? Come back for what?
Yeah.
You may be in a position for a draft pick yourself. It ain't gonna be quarterback, but hey, anything will help. Maybe on offensive line. Pittsburgh, 421 yards total offense. That's the best they've had this year.
Yeah.
Probably the last couple of years. I'm still not sure if Pickett's gonna be the answer though. It's just something new to them right now. I want to see it going forward because basically it's a whole lot of it going to the tight end.
Mm-hmm.
Tight end had a monster day. But eventually, they're going to make you have to throw that ball out there to Pickens and Deontay Johnson. And the thing about the Steelers, don't look now, them boys might win the division. Let me tell you something. They are 3-1 in the division. Yeah. They got 2 more division games left. One of them against Cincy again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And they play Baltimore. So they got a chance. If they can beat Baltimore, they got a chance to win that division.
Yeah.
Crazy as it sounds today, but going forward, still, the way they play that nasty football, Miami don't want you to run the score up on them. It sounds crazy, but they got a chance, man. I think they got a chance to win the division.
Okay.
I'm going to agree. I think they have a chance. Mike Thompson is one of the greatest coaches of the decade. It's clear you see his fingerprint on this team. He's taking doo-doo and polishing it up and making it something.
Mm-hmm.
I called for the firing of the OC last week. Finally did it. You see how much of a different game plan they went into it. And they did what they needed to do against a beat-up, bad Bengals team.
Yeah. Absolutely, man. Steelers winning when they need to, and basically Cincinnati, their best days are over this season. Basically, just might as well just get ready for training camp. Basically, y'all boys got anything else on this game?
Nope.
But did y'all see Deontay Johnson?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah, man.
He just got into it with Fitzpatrick the week before.
Yeah.
The dude fumbled and he just walked away like it's a.
Yeah.
I don't know what's wrong with these Steelers receivers, man. These divas, they find a good one, but they know how to find a diva too. Yeah. They do. I know most receivers are diva, but Steelers find some special ones.
Yeah. And they have 2 on their team right now.
That ain't clown. When they had Claypool and AB, they found them, man.
Yeah. I know, man. That's pretty sad, man. Like this dude just don't give any Fs right now, man. I mean, that's sad. All right, y'all ready to move on to the next game?
Yep.
All right, man. The next game right here, we have the Panthers at the Titans. Final score 10-17. Titans take care of business at home. Let's go to some game leaders and start off with the Panthers side of the ball. Young, he threw for 31, completed 18, 194 yards. Top rusher was God, man, Hubbard.
Hubbard.
Yeah, Hubbard. All right, 14 carries for 45 yards and 1 touchdown. And your top receiver was Mingo with 4 catches, 60 yards. Now to the Titans side of the ball. Levis. He threw for 28, completed 18, 185 yards. Top rusher was Henry for 18 carries, 76 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Have a day, man. And your top receiver was D-Hop with 3 catches for 49 yards. Let's go to some team stats. Total yardage for the Panthers, 250, while the Titans had 264. Turnovers, 1 for the Panthers and 0 for the Titans. Time possession, 33 minutes for the Panthers and 26 for the Titans. That being said, this puts the Tennessee Titans at 4-7, still holding on the last spot in their division. And the Panthers, 1-10, last in their division. DC, what are your thoughts on this game, man?
It's a terrible game to watch. All the way around. They put up as many offensive yards as we did. That's a sad day in paradise.
Yeah.
That's the reason Frank Reich got fired. Because they lost to the Titans.
Oof.
As long as they were losing to Cowboys, now you got a job.
Yeah.
But when you let a team like that's this bad come in and you lose to them, heads got to roll. And they say the owner was outside the locker room doing all this shouting and cussing after the game. So we knew at then when we heard that report, somebody got to go. One and done. But it's tough. I'm okay because I want to see Will Levis play this through.
Yeah.
I want to see what it's like for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
I want to be in a position to feel like we have our quarterback going forward. So when the draft comes, we can work on this janky offensive line we got.
Mm.
Because we got lots of holes to fill. And I would like to get the kid out of Penn State. We end up with a top 5 or 6
yes.
pick. If he's around, that's the guy that
Yeah.
I would like to get just to solidify that O-line, man. We just got Skoronski this year. We put him in there too. So I'm okay. Like I said, I know we're going to lose Henry.
Yeah.
They should have taken.
Yes.
And we got a lot on the back end of that secondary, a lot of work to do.
Yeah.
But I just want to see how Levis go. I want him to play the rest of this year.
Yeah.
Get some reps in, and then we'll be ready for next year. Because we looking forward to the draft now. And any team that, lose to the Titans going forward, their coach might get fired too. And as far as the coaching staff for the Titans,
Yeah.
I think it's going to be some shifting. I think they're going to force Vrabel to fire those coordinators.
Yeah.
I think it's good. I think she's going to say, you got to get rid of these guys.
Yeah.
Or the GM, Rand Carthon, he's going to come down and say, we got to get rid of these coordinators. We got to try something new.
Yeah.
We got some fresh guys in here. We're going to need new coordinators. This ain't going. And if you don't want to do that, move around. Because what he's doing, he continues to hire from within the staff. He's done that the whole time. He's just been promoting people from within. Sometimes.
What coaches he used to work for.
Yeah.
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 Sometimes you got to go outside the organization.
Yeah.
Bringing in buddy, and ain't nothing changing. You hiring your homeboy, it's hard to tell them what you really want them to do.
Yeah.
So there's going to be some changes that as far as that too. I'm surprised if Tim Kelly's gone. There's no loyalty to them. He was on the staff as the quarterback coach.
Yeah.
And game planner. They just moved him to OC. So don't be surprised if he's out of there and they're bringing in somebody next year.
Yeah.
And with Frank Wright getting canned, guess what? They got that young defensive coordinator over there. So now he's out of a job. He's the guy that was in Denver that some people wanted to hire for a head coach. Al Sharouf, I can't remember his name, but now he's going to be available for teams to take a look at. So I'd like to see where he's going to land to because I'm sure they're going to get rid of the whole staff. Dave Tepper, probably the worst owner in the NFL to deal with.
Exactly.
Probably Woody Johnson. Yeah. They got to reset the button over there.
Yeah. Josh?
Feel bad for Bryce Young. I mean, at this point, what can you do? Gave up so much to get him, and now you're not going to get a peak elite player out of the draft.
Yeah.
I mean, just kind of hoping, praying for something to shake. Hopefully, you gotta find something, a needle in the haystack. You gotta pray. It's gonna take a miracle for them to be able to turn this around next year. Bad football. That Panthers actually had a chance, especially that last drive and terrible play call. You just hate to see it.
Man, I think the Panthers are like 2 to 3 years to see something good come out of this. To see Bryce Young's true potential, man. Because this organization is so far behind, man, and they give up so much, like you said, Josh. And it's gonna take years, man. And I give it 3 years tops, man, to see how competitive this team can be. But right now, man, like DC said as well, dealing with this owner, he wants results fast. But I feel like he's not making the right decisions to help out the coaches. And good luck to the coach that wants to be in that position. I mean, maybe a crazy coach like Bieniemy might want to take over, deal with someone like that. But I feel like he'd be too hard headed as well to deal with the owner like that, man. So whoever gets hired to this, man, go with caution because I think this might be your last coaching spot right here. Jay, what are your thoughts, man?
The real story is the front office. I would love to have had them be the in-season Hard Knocks team to see what's really going on. Even from the draft to up and now, I want to see the fight that Frank Wright had with Tepper in the draft room. Frank Wright is reportedly all in on CJ Stroud. The quarterback coach was
Will Levis.
No, the quarterback coach for Carolina.
The guy they wanted to hire for the Texas
yeah.
coach.
Oh, yeah. What's on? Will.
I forgot, but
real backup.
At CJ Stroud's pro day, he said, "Can't wait to have you in Carolina." And then draft comes around, they give up all these picks, and they pick Bryce Young. So I think that might be just reading them between the lines. That's two people who wanted CJ versus the meddling owner who wanted the Showtime fast break.
Josh McCown.
Josh McCown, right?
Yeah.
The fast break ability of he wanted butts and seats to see Bryce Young, and I still don't think it's over for Bryce Young, but they are behind the 8 ball. I would love to see Tepper, like you said, he was cursing everybody out. And then Frank Wright pretty much knew. Everybody knew that this was pretty much it. I just feel bad again, like Josh said, for Bryce Young. He didn't deserve any of this.
Yeah.
He played his butt off in college, and he came to a team that was a disgrace. They're pretty much the laughing stock. Tepper is what people think Jerry Jones is. Jerry Jones actually has a committee where he bounces ideas off. He doesn't just go half cocked like Tepper just says, "Hey, draft this guy or else." And then they brought it's just a whole drama that I would love to see
on TV.
Yeah. Just to see how this shakes out. But other than that, I'm pretty much done with. I ain't gonna lie, Kraft. Both these teams, Titans have the ninth pick, and Carolina would have had the first pick, but of course they sent that to Chicago.
Yeah.
You say they set back 2-3 years. The owner did that on draft day.
Yeah.
He set the franchise back right then and there.
Yep.
And I know Frank Wright, that's probably the first time he ever been glad to be fired.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Be a part of that. Nobody wants to be a part of that.
But he's still getting paid though.
Oh, yeah,
He's still get paid. I mean, all right. So now let's go to this question right here. I got a question for the table. Should Frank Wright take a couple seasons off, or do you see him going being back as a offensive coordinator?
He should definitely take multiple seasons off, and he's got to earn it.
Yeah.
He has no easy path to being an OC anymore. It's the Philly days are long gone. So there's way more names available and probably better than Frank Wright.
DC?
I think it's probably he wants to be a head coach. I don't think he wants to be an OC anymore.
Okay.
I think he got a taste of the head coach,
But he's not good at that.
But you got to realize there's a lot of guys in the league. You're a coordinator.
Yeah.
Yes.
You are.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you send them all around the league, man. Like Vic Fangio, he's a coordinator and a head coach.
Yeah.
You know, like the defensive coordinator for the Cowboys.
Yeah.
He's a coordinator. He's not a head coach.
Yeah.
You send it all around. Just go beat that. You can do that. Not trying to take over the whole team. That ain't you.
Yeah.
That's not you. So go take your coordinator position and move on.
Yeah.
But I think he's going to want to be a head coach.
Josh, what do you think, man?
Take off the season.
Yeah.
Reset.
Yeah. All right. All right, y'all boys got anything else on that game?
No, let's go ahead and go to the what is it? The
Buccaneers.
Well, I had Patriots Giants next.
Oh, yeah. I forgot to put it on the notes. My bad. Yeah, this is the one game I forgot.
All right, go ahead. Take it.
Oh, you want to take it?
Yeah.
All right. We have the Buccaneers at the Colts right here. Final score 20-27. Yeah, so the Colts take care of business at home. Let's go to some game leaders real quick. And let's start off at with the Buccaneers side of the ball, Mayfield. He threw for 30, completed 20, 199 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Top rusher was White with 15 carries for 100 yards. Have a day, man. Top receiver was Mike Evans with 6 catches, 70 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Have a day. Now to the Colts side of the ball, Minshew. He threw for 41, completed 24, 251 yards, one interception. And your top rusher was Taylor with 15 carries, 91 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Man, where you been at, my boy? Have a day. Top receiver was Pittman Jr. with 10 catches, 107 yards. Have a day, man. That being said, let's go to some team stats. Total yardage for the Buccaneers, 298 total yardage, while the Colts had 394 turnovers, 2 for the Buccaneers and 1 for the Colts. Time possession, 28 minutes for the Buccaneers and 31 minutes for the Colts. That being said, this puts now the Colts at 6-5, second in their division now, and this puts the Buccaneers 4-7, third in their division. DC, what are your thoughts on this game, man?
The Buccaneers sad. Oh man, they gave up 6 sacks.
Mm.
Mm-mm. And the crazy part about it, I know it's a lot of their fans want them to throw the towel in, but the ownership like we close to making the playoffs. They gonna be in a rough spot.
Sadly,
You're
but
gonna
true.
mess around and miss out on your quarterback for
Mhm.
next year, trying to make a playoff run this year. When they should have Mike Evans, move on.
Yeah.
That would go ahead and move. What you gonna do? Make the playoffs with the Cowboys come in and beat your brains in?
Yeah.
No, hold on, man.
And next year he's a free agent. At least the Buccaneers could have got some draft
Once
capital
again,
out of it.
Yeah, they could have got something out of him. But Colts are looking good, man. They moving right along.
Yeah.
Jonathan Taylor looks to be healthy now.
Mm.
Pittman quietly is just target monster.
Mhm.
Guy been doing pretty well the whole season, but ain't nobody been talking about him. But like you say, the Dallas Colts are in that last playoff spot. That's amazing. With the tie with the Texans.
Yep.
So if the playoffs start today, the Colts will be in and the Texans will be out.
Mm-hmm.
And I never thought that would have been like this with Minshew. But we know Minshew, we see him at some backup spots. He can do pretty good at times.
At times.
But as far as going through the playoffs, I don't see him doing much more. But I'm surprised with the Colts right about now. I really am.
Absolutely.
I'm done with the Bucs. I don't know why they're just going to throw the towel in. Move on.
Yeah. Josh?
Yeah, the Bucks are a good version of the Titans to me. It's just not good enough, and you're kind of in a bad position to fix the point. You're not gonna get anything good out of winning.
Yeah.
You're winning, but you're actually losing.
You're costing yourself in the future. Yeah.
Nowhere really fast.
Yeah.
But I'm excited about the Colts' future.
Yeah.
I really want to see Richardson with a full season on his belt.
Mm-hmm.
With that team, fairly dangerous.
All right. Absolutely. Absolutely. Jay?
Shane Steichen, shouts out. He's been calling a hell of a couple of games, winning despite. Other than that, we'll have to see. The Colts could go either way after this season. They can make some moves and mess it up, or they can build on what they have. And we just got to figure out if the future is Anthony Richardson or not. Can he stay healthy? Can he run the offense? Because Gardner Minshew they're winning just to. I don't know what their plans are for the rest of the season.
Yeah. Okay. All right, gentlemen, y'all boys have anything else on this game right here with the Buccaneers and Colts?
But with the Colts, they got the Bengals, Steelers, Falcons, and the Raiders and the Texans coming up. Like I say, they in the playoff spot right now. They got a chance of sticking around in that spot with Gardner Minshew because they're gonna beat the Bengals.
Yeah.
Probably not gonna beat the Steelers. I think they're gonna beat the Falcons.
Yeah.
Then it's the Raiders after that. Then they play the Texans. So they got to stop being in the mix. So what happens now is Minshew takes you to the playoffs.
Yeah.
Next year rolls around.
Mm-hmm.
He goes back to the bench. And it's going to be tough on Anthony Richardson if that happens. Few little old mistakes, pull him out. And I hate to see a young quarterback go through that, man. So hopefully Minshew can find a job somewhere else, even though they make the playoffs.
Yeah.
I don't want that pressure like that on Anthony Richardson every week having to play like that.
But sometimes having pressure like that is good. I mean, like it makes you want to ball out even better, you know.
Because if you ain't got the skill set right now for that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
They need to realize that this ain't Gardner Minshew's doing. This is all Shane Steichen with the RPOs and the way he's calling the game.
Which is good. You're making your players better, right?
Yes, but if next year they want Gardner Minshew to be the starter, Colts are going to have a rude awakening because this is really just on Steichen what he's calling.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's go to New York. New England at New York. New England Patriots score 7. New York Giants score 10. Man, this game here. Mac Jones, 12 of 21, 89 yards, 2 interceptions. And was he benched? He was benched again, right? Okay.
Halftime.
Woo. The leash is getting shorter and shorter. Ramondre Stevenson, 21 carries, 98 yards, 1 touchdown. Have a day in whatever slop that was. Demario Douglas, 6 receptions, 49 yards. Tommy DeVito, 17 of 25, 191 yards, 1 touchdown. And he has more wins than Daniel Jones, right? I
think so.
Oh man. Saquon Barkley, 12 carries, 46 yards. Jalen Hyatt, 5 receptions, 109 yards. He's finally waking up. And then total yardage, 283 yards to 220 yards. New England outgained the Giants. 3 turnovers for the New England Patriots. 3 turnovers, and the Giants could only muster 10 points out of that. The Giants only had 10 first downs the whole game. This is bad. I think Channelview might have Channelview High School might have played better against them, or Yates or something. Look,
North Shore.
North Shore or something.
Shore, yeah.
My question is to y'all. I don't know how much y'all want to talk about this game, but let's say Belichick is done after this season. Do we want Bill Belichick anymore as a head coach? Fredo, that's my question to you.
So for entertaining purposes, I say yes. Because this guy is so stuck to his ways, it makes you really want to think. I was like, was Belichick really a good coach, or was it Tom Brady? Or the combination of both. But he's not going to have that success with Jones under center, man. I say let's wait and see what happens. Let's give him a good quarterback. Let's see if he could develop one better. But we know it's not Jones, and we know it's not that. And I feel like even though this year he has a legitimate offensive coordinator, the Patriots have not shown any spark whatsoever in this offense, man. This offense changes quarterbacks every half, and it's ridiculous. It's a joke, but I want to see him. Maybe he needs to go outside of New England and let's try it out. Let's see it. Well, to me, I say, yeah, I want to see this man in another team.
Kraft.
No.
Yeah.
Can't give him to me.
No.
No, not right now. No.
What was that?
Suited as a defensive coordinator because his style is gone.
Yeah.
It's a wrap.
Yeah.
Yep.
And your message don't get across when you're losing. The locker room is done. It's done.
But
and Kraft needs to come and clean the whole thing out right now. What?
One thing. All right. Let's say the Chargers give him a call. Hey, take over this team. Can you see him success with that team?
No.
Really?
He's gonna run these people into the ground.
No, Fredo.
So even though he could go to a world great team that has the good players right now, because right now the Pacers don't have nothing. Mm-hmm. But let's say he goes to a more developed team that's have the players that you need the coach.
He's a defensive minded who wants to buy the groceries too. It ain't gonna work.
It ain't.
I'm not letting a rookie quarterback come to New England with Belichick, the head coach. You see what happened to him.
Yeah.
So even though he had 1 year with 2 bad coordinators, I'm not letting Belichick put his
hands
on my franchise quarterback. No, not after what I've seen. I'm not doing it. But I don't trust in him to put the players around him.
Gotcha.
I don't trust him as a GM. And the message is dead, man. It's dead.
Okay.
So Belichick, I don't know where he's going. Somebody's going to take a chance.
Yeah.
If he does get fired, somebody's going to be willing to take the chance. But at my team, I'm not willing to do that unless he makes some big changes, and I don't think his pride going to let him do that.
Yeah.
With all the Super Bowls and all the accolades that he's come across, but I don't think his pride going to let him do that.
Yeah. I got you, Josh.
It was fun while it lasted.
Yeah.
And I'll see you later. Not only will I see you later, I think I'll see you in 2 years. I think he takes a break. I think just reset, go into the middle of nowhere, play with your dogs,
go
play
fish,
with your grandkids, go fish, reset,
find a new girlfriend,
see the game from a different perspective. I think he comes back and pulls a Sean Payton eventually and finds a team that he can kind of play around with. But it's done. Rebuild the whole team, culture, everything.
Yeah.
It's a new day and age. For me, the Patriots won this game because now you get your quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Drake May.
It's a win. It's
Drake
a win.
May, and build everything around him. He's now the face of the Patriots, and you brand him, and you make him golden child, and move on with the business.
Yeah. For me, I don't want to see Belichick for 5 years until he's going into Canton. Like, put him in the Hall of Fame jersey.
Rest
or
in peace,
jacket.
Belichick is what y'all
Look,
saying, huh?
look. What I'm saying is the game passes people by.
Yeah.
We see it in basketball all the time.
Yeah.
Bobby McKnight or RIP, Larry Brown passing by. Phil Jackson. It's a different game,
Yeah.
and you can't run your program like you did when you had the greatest quarterback of all time.
And a decent defense as well.
Yes,
Yeah.
he's putting the same pressure on Mac Jones as he put on Tom Brady,
Which is not fair.
and pressure bust pipes, and he ruined Mac Jones. Mac Jones is not that bad of a quarterback. He's a top 10 pick. He
So was Baker.
yeah, but the way that
I'm saying, man, only because like I feel like quarterbacks that get picked so high get so many chances in this league.
okay,
Oh, you know, it's like, but is he really good? No.
Mac Jones is a good processor. I just think he's just being too much pressure being put on him. He's broken right now.
Yeah.
The interception he throws is second guessing mid throw.
Yeah. He
Like
is.
he's bringing the ball over his shoulder and he's like Belichick. And then he just does something stupid once a game and he gets pulled. Like you can't play under that kind of pressure.
Yeah.
And then like DC said, picking the groceries. You can't pick any groceries.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can even cook my groceries that I pick. You really can't. The team he put around Mac Jones is pathetic.
Yeah, it is. It is.
It is pathetic. It's a bad team. The game passed him by.
You did.
So thank you, Bill Belichick. I don't want you to go to the Chargers. Maybe you put the same pressure on Herbert. Like people have to be free, and that military style don't work no more. I'm sorry, it's not 1993 no more.
Yeah.
One more thing with Belichick, I think he's within 20 games of breaking the record.
That's to me. That's why he's around.
That's why he's around.
Mm.
But another thing is, Gerard Mayo, I think, is their coach in waiting.
Mm.
Yeah.
Oh, listen.
So that's why I'm thinking they got to make the move because they called him last year. They gave him more money, Gerard Mayo.
Mm.
I don't know how long they can hold on to him. And he's their coach in waiting. So that's why I'm thinking they may make a move. If not, you end up losing him, and then you lose Belichick, and then where are you at?
Right.
So it's going to be interesting this offseason to see what happens.
Another point I'll add to that as well, to bring up the conversation, Alex Smith, with the Brady conversation, is how much of a cakewalk that division has been in his heyday.
Right.
So
right.
now you're at the place where you're playing so bad, people are going to start putting asterisks on top of the asterisks. Mm-hmm. You already you have asterisks on your Super Bowl wins because of the cheating scandals and stuff. Now you have a double asterisk because everybody's like, wait a minute, y'all really weren't that good, and you weren't that good either. Tom Brady's Tom Brady, and the division is the division. So it's time. Don't even do it to your legacy. Get out while you can. Move on.
Well said. Yeah, I believe that too. That was a weak division they played for years. All right, y'all boys got anything else in that game?
Nope.
No. All right,
That's a terrible too.
Yep.
All right, let's move on to the next game, man. We have the Browns at the Broncos. Final score 12-29. Broncos take care of business at home. Let's go to some game stats. I'm sorry, some game leaders. And let's start off with the Brown side of the ball. Thomas, he threw for 29, completed 14, 134 yards, and 1 touchdown. Ford was your top rusher with 9 carries, 65 yards. And Njoku was your top receiver with 6 catches, 59 yards. Now to the Broncos side of the ball. Wilson, he was your top passer. He threw for 22, completed 13, 134 yards, and 1 touchdown. Williams, he was your top rusher with 18 carries for 65 yards. And Sutton was your top receiver with 3 catches with 61 yards. Team stats. Total yardage. For the Browns, 269, while the Broncos had 294. Turnovers, 3 for the Browns and 1 for the Broncos. Time possession, 27 minutes for the Browns and 32 minutes for the Broncos. That being said, this puts the Broncos now at 6-5, second in their division, and this puts the Browns 7-4, third in their division. DC, what are your thoughts on this game, man?
It's just a bunch of bad stuff going all around between these two organizations. 5 in a row for the Broncos.
Mm-hmm.
Russell Wilson still looks like a junior high quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
He's the ultimate game manager now this day, but they're winning.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But the defense is better, but it ain't good enough for him to game manage.
Mm-hmm.
At some point, the offense is going to have to put some numbers up, and I don't know if they're going to be able to do it. But shout out to Peyton to get the team to where they are now with what he's got.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he's stuck with an anvil in that contract with Russell Wilson.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
he's going to have to continue to make that chicken out of chicken. So,
Mm-hmm.
and on the other side, Cleveland, they started DTR. I understand why I would have started PJ Walker. I
Yeah.
understand why they started DTR because they have to find out this year what he is.
Yeah.
You know, I think PJ Walker is more familiar with the offense, moved the offense a lot better. But with DTR, you got to find out if he's your future backup. With the way all these quarterbacks and stuff been going out this year, the backup quarterback position is going to be huge
It's
in the
prime.
offseason.
Yeah.
So they need to find out if this going to be our backup or if we're going to have to move on and find something different.
Yeah.
You're going to see backups getting money like nobody else. And you're going to be seeing guys that you thought had the potential to be starters going to end up being backups.
Yeah.
Because of the starting quarterback going down and put these teams behind the 8 ball. It just killed the season.
Yeah.
So, but with that being said, Cleveland went in there and they lost it. And the way they're looking right now, they might take it all away, man. With that great defense, man. It's going to all end up going down the drain from this point on. And the only thing that's saving probably Stefanski's job is that Watson is out.
Mm-hmm.
I think if they would have had a bad season with Watson playing,
For
he'd
sure.
have been another guy.
For sure.
He'd have been out the door too. So his excuse is going to be Watson is gone. Then again, it may not be good enough because I don't think they're too high on him right now. But he's like good for Sean Payton. He's getting something out of these guys, man.
Yeah.
Hats off to him. Cortland Sutton, man. He may be top 3 in touchdowns as far as receivers go. He's been balling, man. He didn't get one this game, but he had like 5 straight games, I think, with a touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
But the Broncos in second place. And now with Cincinnati out of the picture, they opened up the door for another team. And that's what you're going to see one of these other teams sliding. The fact that Joe Burrow's done. It just changed the whole thing.
Yeah. Josh?
Yeah, Broncos are hot until they're not.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the identity of the team is streaky. As long as the shots are dropping, you'll make them. But once they get dry, there's nothing you can really do with them. Defense, like DC said, they're good. The defense is good. They have a good defense, but not enough to overcome all the other obstacles that they have on the team. I think is Myles Garrett.
He got hurt.
He got hurt,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Shoulder.
Browns are done. that's enough for me to be able to go ahead and Browns are done. Myles Garrett was the MVP. He's what everything hinged upon. Without Myles Garrett, season is a wrap. The Browns turned into the Buccaneers real fast once you lose Myles Garrett. So, and even from last week when I was talking about DTR is PJ Walker. He's a really good backup. He's going to travel around a little bit, but his ceiling is capped. So both these teams have some introspection that they need to go to the drawing board and
Jay?
Yeah, shout out to Sean Payton. They scored 29 points with their quarterback completing 13 passes. So I have I didn't see any of this game. So shout out to him, and watch out for the Broncos. They 5 in a row. Something's working.
Yeah.
But 134 total yards passing for Russell Wilson and scoring 29 points or something. That math ain't mathing.
Yeah.
But yeah.
All right. Y'all boys got anything else on this game?
For DTR, I think at some point, if they figure out he's not working, they'll just move him to receiver.
Yeah.
He'll end up being an emergency quarterback or something like that.
I think they did that with another quarterback in Minnesota. They did that too. I think he played for the Texans too at one point as a receiver. All right. Anyway, let's go to the Rams and the Cardinals. Rams 37-14. Cardinals are 2-10 now. number 2 spot in the draft. Rams are 5-6. Uh, Trying to get into this divisional race. Matthew Stafford, 229 yards passing, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception. Kyler Murray, 256 yards, 1 touchdown. Kyron Williams had him a day, 16 carries, 143 yards, coming fresh off of IR. James Conner for the Cardinals, 6 carries, 27 yards. And then Tutu Atwell was the leading receiver for the Rams, 3 receptions, 76 yards. And Hollywood Brown, 6 receptions, 88 yards. Rams almost double up the Cardinals, 457 total yards to 292. 1 turnover for the Rams and 25 first downs. A whole bunch of time of possessions. Rams dominated this game. DC, what you think?
Kyron Williams is a difference maker.
Yeah.
Guys, man. Big time. The Rams moving right along. Like I say, don't be surprised they slide in that last playoff spot. They won with Puka, and Cooper Cup was a non-factor in this game.
Mm-hmm.
0. And with these guys' schedule coming up, they got the Browns coming up. They play the Ravens, they play the Commanders, they play the Saints, and they play the Giants. So, in the last game against the 49ers, which we don't know what the 49ers situation is going to be like at that point. I'm sure they're going to have to play the starters, play stuff going, but they can slide in the back door.
Yeah.
I've already took Seattle out of the race.
Mm-hmm.
So I think there's a chance that these guys can step in and take that spot. Unless Green Bay or somebody like that. We don't know what Minnesota's going to do, but they got a real good chance. And Kyron Williams, he's balling, man. He's balling out of control. And Cardinals, on to the draft.
Yep.
They got some big time decisions to make. Maybe Kyler Murray's out there on showcase because they got some decisions to make in Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna have some good picks. We'll see what they do with them.
Josh?
Shout out to Kyron Williams. Got me 33 points in fantasy.
Yep. Same.
He's a monster. The Rams are dangerous. There's another step that they can take, and they could take it, especially as they get closer to the end of the season. I don't know if they're going to take it or not, but there's a gap that they can fill, especially if they get a little healthier. They have a bit of that championship DNA, so if they really bulk it down and tap into it, I think they could make something of the season. The Cardinals are small. The players are small.
Yeah.
They coach small. They play small. It's a very small team. Your wide receiver one is small. Your quarterback one is small. They've got to go back to the drawing board. It's crazy they moved on from Kingsbury, but they have to run the same offense
due to the personnel.
It's not necessarily even a coaching problem. Well, it is a coaching problem, but nobody can really do anything with this team.
Yeah.
They're just limited and capped off. So, yeah.
To me, man, like the Rams are looking very good, but what makes the Rams really good right now is the coaching. I think the coaching is doing an excellent job of putting the players in the right place to win these games. To me, really, the Rams really ain't that bad, man. Like maybe they're like 2 or 3 players away. Mind you, I think they could use a better quarterback. So we don't know what the future holds for Stafford. Really, how much longer he has in LA. But if they put a legitimate quarterback under center, man, they could look potentially really good. Mind you, man, Stafford, he's not bad, but I'm just saying his future's not long. But with Arizona, I think Arizona, man, like shows good potential, but you clearly see the coaching right here won this game right here. To me, Arizona still has a little bit more. Like DC said, there's a possibility that Murray may not even be with the Cardinals next year. They're showcasing him to see what team wants to put a fight for him. Mind you, who wants to take on that contract, and doesn't help that his personal life and his attitude it's not so great, So it's a lot to work on, but we'll see what's up though, man. But shout outs to Williams as well. Congratulations to you, Josh, on picking him up. he was available, and that was a steal right there, man. But yeah, y'all boys got anything else more on this game right here?
Nope.
No. All right, hold up. So let me go to the next game right here. Let's go to the Chiefs and Raiders right here, man. Final score 31-17. Chiefs go on the road, take care of business against the Raiders right here, divisional game. But let's start off with the Chiefs and some game leaders. Mahomes, he threw for 34, completed 27, 298 yards and 2 touchdowns. Half a day, man. And then we go to the Russian. Top rusher was Pacheco, 15 carries for 55 yards and 2 touchdowns, man. Not bad. Have a day. Top receiver was Rice with 8 catches, 107 yards, and 1 touchdown. Let's go to the Raiders side of the ball. O'Connell, that's his name, right? He threw the ball for 33 times, completed 23 for 248 yards and 1 touchdown. Top rusher for the Raiders was Jacobs with 20 carries, 110 yards, and 1 touchdown. Have a day, my boy. And your top receiver was Myers with 6 catches, 79 yards, and 1 touchdown. Let's go to some team stats. Total yardage for the Chiefs, 360, while the Raiders had 358. Both teams with 0 turnovers. Time possession for the Chiefs, 30 minutes, and for the Raiders, 29. So they were right there, neck and neck. For the divisional game right here, this puts the Raiders at 5-7, third in their division, and this puts the Chiefs 8-3, holding on to the number 1 spot in their division. DC, what are your thoughts on this game, man?
O'Connell didn't do too bad.
No?
I don't think they maybe sacked him once, and he didn't turn the ball over for the interception wise. So that's pretty good for him.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, the Chiefs, they got to stop digging these holes.
Yeah.
They went down 14-0. They had to come back out of it. Man, you got the quarterback to do it, but you just don't want to depend on that too often.
Yeah.
You know,
Against the Raiders.
Yeah,
I mean,
against
yeah.
the Raiders, after being shut out last week in the second half. But Mahomes, hopefully Rice is going to be the guy that he can rely on.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what they need. They got to have another receiver outside of Kelsey.
Outside of a tight end, yeah.
They want to move on and get back to the Super Bowl. But all in all, not a bad day. Pacheco, 2 touchdowns. Travis Kelsey, just another Kelsey day.
Yeah.
But, Chiefs, they doing Chiefs things, moving right along. Getting primed up for the playoffs.
Yeah. Josh?
Yeah, the Raiders are not a terrible team. Just need some pieces. Got to build that team up. They're gonna be fine in the future. It's really good to see Josh Jacobs with some burst.
Yeah.
He broke some big ones. But shout out to Coach Reed. This game made him the winningest coach in Chiefs history.
Congrats.
Made him the first coach in NFL history to be the winningest coach of 2 franchises.
Mm-hmm.
With the Eagles, now with the Chiefs.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. So he broke the record. So now he's the winningest coach of 2 teams. So we're seeing history.
Can you tell me what that was, some nuggies? No, I'm just playing. That's an inside commercial joke. Yeah, with some nuggies.
Yeah, they went and did what they needed to do and got the W.
Yeah. Jay?
Man, we gotta get some more help. They playing with their food a little bit too much in Kansas City. Went down 14, but Mahomes put the team on his back. Rashee Rice, can he keep doing it? They're gonna need him to keep it up for them to do anything against these top AFC teams.
Yeah.
But good comeback.
Yeah. All right, man. Y'all boys got anything else between this? It was a winnable game for the Chiefs, man, but almost slipped out of their hands, though, man. Y'all boys got anything else in that game?
No, let's go to the game of the day.
Badass uniforms.
Ugh. Buffalo Bills versus the Philadelphia Eagles in those terrible overrated jerseys.
Not a fan.
The 34-37, really good game. Philly came out on top. Jalen Hurts, 18 of 31, 3 touchdowns, 200 yards passing, 1 interception. DeAndre Swift, 14 carries, 80 yards. Devontae Smith, or did I say Smith? DeAndre Swift, and then Devontae Smith. 7 receptions, 106 yards, and a touchdown. Josh Allen balled out But he only went 29 of 51, 339 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception. Josh Allen was also the leading rusher, 9 carries, 81 yards, 2 touchdowns. Gabe Davis, leading receiver, 6 receptions, 105 yards. Buffalo outgained him 505 total yards to 378 yards. 1 turnover versus Philly's 2 turnovers. And Buffalo 40 minutes of time of possession
Yeah.
versus Philly. Yeah, really good game, back and forth game, sloppy game. We got a lot to discuss.
Yeah. This game went to overtime as well.
Yep, yes,
Yeah,
sir.
Yeah. That's why they had 40 minutes.
Hmm.
DC, what are your thoughts on this game, man?
Speaking of overtime, they changed the rule for Josh Allen. He 0-5 in overtime.
Yep.
But it was a hell of a game, man. Josh Allen, he left it all out there on the field.
Yeah.
But that one interception was kind of timely and costly when he did do it. But he tried to put the team on his back and take it, man. But for some reason, man, Philly going to halftime and they come back.
And the conditions out there
Conditions were bad,
wet.
man. But Jalen Hurts, they're going to start talking about him in the MVP conversation. Especially with this gauntlet of games he's got that he's going through right now. If he can continue to win, the numbers don't look big, but when you have guys that make plays when plays need to be made,
Yep.
you know what I'm saying? And you win the game, like the last score. That's what people look at. You know, you can have all the biggest numbers in the world, but it doesn't matter if you don't make the play when the play needs to be made. And he seems to be doing that here quite frequently. Just like last week with the Chiefs. Like I said, they shut the Chiefs out the second half. They didn't even score.
Yeah.
They go in there, and their offensive line and defensive line, and make their mind up that, hey, we finna go out here and do this. In some kind of way, they figure out how to do it. A.J. Brown didn't even have a big game. This 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
It's been Devontae Smith, the leading receiver.
Yeah.
And these are games without Goddard. So this team is good, man. They just find all kind of ways to beat you. Even when they're losing, the game ain't over. It's not one of them teams that say, oh, they down, they're not coming back.
Yeah.
From now, I'm looking at them as when they down, they still got a chance.
Yeah.
Buffalo, I don't know, man. You're going to be at Cincinnati not playing. Well, you might get to slide back in there, but it's still going to be difficult because your schedule coming up is not going to be nice.
Yeah.
But shout out to the Eagles, man. Good win.
Yeah. Absolutely. Josh?
I hate to address this up top, but there's a 10-1 flag ratio in the first half. That should not happen. Poorly called game. I think when they played Miami,
Who was the 10 for?
For Bills.
The Bills got 10 flags?
Against them.
Against them.
It's called against them, yeah.
Called against them. They had 0 flags called against them in the Miami game, which is pretty much impossible. They are the second least penalized team in the league, which is they're not that disciplined. They're a very disciplined team, very, very good team. I take nothing away from them, but the calls are getting outrageous.
Yeah.
There has to be an investigation at some point. You have a ref that misses a horse collar that's
right in front of him.
5 yards away from him.
Yeah.
So Bills gave him this game. They keep on getting left off the hook. They just somehow, some way get another chance, and they take advantage of it because it's the Eagles, and there's some dogs. And so when they get that chance to lock in, they're gonna lock in and do what Hurts did on the last drive. I thought the last drive was very impressive for the Eagles. Just there's no fear. You see Hurts. I like Jalen. I really like Jalen Hurts. His demeanor. He's just never up, never down, always in it. He's gonna rally his team together. Now, what I think is interesting is how long people have been saying that they're not playing their best football.
Yes.
Because usually I give you that for about 3 or 4 weeks, but this deep into the
got to be something there.
Something's there. We haven't played our best ball. We haven't played our best ball. At some point, you're gonna come against a team that these issues are gonna come up and you can't beat them. No matter how much you rise to the occasion and you're resilient. that doesn't always translate, especially against a team like the 49ers. There's you can't be resilient against the 49ers. So Eagles have some things that I would say they need to fix, but I don't think they even have the answer for some of the problems that they come against. Bills, shout out to Josh Allen. He performed to the best of his ability. He took the game on his shoulder and he tried his best. I missed a wide open touchdown, which would still the game. Gabe Davis.
I think Gabe Davis ran a wrong route.
Yeah, Gabe Davis ran a wrong route. If the Bills were clicking on all cylinders and locked in and focused, they win that game.
Yeah. Jerome?
Say it all the time. Howie Roseman, this is your win. The Jalen Hurts, you're not gonna put him in MVP conversation, but every win they have is a team win.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like he's doing anything crazy. Like his numbers, okay. He gets real accurate when they are behind, but that comes with the play calling. Gets an uptick. The defense starts to play a little bit tighter. The Eagles are like Mike Myers. Like, you can't kill them. They always keep coming back. And then when it seems like you're about to kill them, the refs won't let you.
Yeah.
The refs are going to keep them. There's egregious pass interferences, multiple. Darius Slay, horse collar. Eagles are 4-0 whenever Sean Hockley calls refs a game. 10 penalties in the first half, 75 yards against the Bills, 1 penalty for 5 yards against the Eagles. They're not going to let you. You're going to have to knock this team out. And they're getting such, I'm not going to say luck, but they're fortunate.
Yeah.
They're fortunate that Howie Roseman is doing these things. Byard's been okay. Jake Elliott is the savior. Nobody's talking about Jake.
Yep.
Everybody want to say Jalen Hurts. Jake Elliott, 59-yard field goal to tie it.
It was raining.
In crap weather.
Yeah.
It said next gen stats, he had 20.9% chance of making that game tying field goal. Elliott has made all 3 of his field goals with a sub 25% probability in his career. So again, this has nothing to do with Jalen Hurts. This is
a team win.
Howie Roseman bringing in the pieces. I saw Jordan Davis, another Howie Roseman pick, run down Josh Allen in the crazy, like the dude's 350 pounds, and he ran Josh Allen with a crazy sideline to sideline thing. Then they brought in Swift. No, nothing like they're such a good team, but they play a weird brand of. Have you ever seen who's that basketball player? He would shoot free throws, but he always used to bank them. He would bank the free throws. It's not pretty. It's the ugliest way to do it.
His form was ugly.
He underhand, but it goes in.
Yeah.
It's just not pretty.
Yeah.
Push comes to shove, there's a good chance that they haven't played their flat game yet. You could say it's against the Jets, but will that flat game come in the playoffs? They only need 2 wins in the playoffs, but we'll see. They keep winning. They keep making plays. It's a total team win. Jalen Hurts was cool, but his first half he had a 0 quarterback rating.
Yeah.
He was terrible.
Yeah.
No, but nobody wants to. In the MVP race, nobody's going to say that. I think this is more of a team thing, and those jerseys are terrible.
And I will also add to that his turnovers, he has very costly turnovers.
Yes.
Super Bowl turnover.
Yeah.
Even though his turnover numbers aren't high, they're at worst time. The turnover with the bad. Handoff
Mm-hmm.
was really bad, almost cost them the game. So people definitely need to be on watch out for that as well.
Yeah.
But they're winning, so
But I tell you what, game on the line, I don't want nobody but Mahomes ahead of Hurts. If I need to drive to win a game, I can't think of a quarterback right now. Maybe Joe Burrow when he's healthy to go down there and get my team in position to win. Like I say, he makes the plays when the plays need to be made. So like the saying go, big players make big plays in big games.
Mm-hmm.
And Hurts continues to do that, man. He does. He just moves the ball when it's time to go. He get those guys in line. Offensive line do what they need to do, and next thing you know, they're scoring. And it's gonna be very difficult to beat. And you're gonna have to almost play a perfect game to beat them.
But you said one key thing: offensive line does what it needs to do.
Absolutely.
Because a lot of them other situations, they'll have something going, and then somebody lets them down. Look at C.J. Stroud. That's not C.J. Stroud ain't running for his life. That offensive line is leaking, and then but again, he is balling.
Yeah. And and I like to see that type of football game, man. Just the environment alone. Two good teams, two solid quarterbacks. Both teams got two solid receivers. And it was raining, windy. The whole game was like that, man. So that was fun to see, a good product out there in the football field. But yeah,
it's real good.
yeah.
Last thing, the Bills are 6-6, and they have a plus 101 point differential. So they're not a bad team. It's just it ain't their year.
Yeah.
They lost a lot.
Yep.
Yeah, boys, got anything else? No. All right, let's move on to the Sunday night game right here, man. We had the Ravens at the Chargers. Final score 20-10. Baltimore takes care of business on the road. Wow, Chargers, man, it's really bad to see this one. But let's go to some game leaders real quick, and let's start off with the Ravens side of the ball. Jackson, he threw for 32, completed 18, 177 yards, one touchdown. Top rusher for the Ravens, Mitchell, 9 carries for 64 yards. Top receiver was Likely for 4 catches, 40 yards. Now to the Chargers side of the ball. Herbert, he threw for 44, completed 29 for 217 yards, one touchdown, one interception. Top rusher as well was Herbert for 4 carries for 47 yards. Top receiver was Allen for 14 catches, 106 yards. Have a day, my boy. Let's go to some team stats. Total yardage for the Ravens, 361, while the Chargers had 279. Turnovers, 0 for the Ravens and 4 for the Chargers. Time possession, 33 minutes for the Ravens and 27 for the Chargers. That being said, that puts the Chargers 4-7, last in their division, and this puts the Ravens at 9-3, first in their division. DC, what are your thoughts on this game, man?
It was a back and forth game. That Baltimore defense, it was legit.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
They was on it, man, all over the field,
Yes, sir.
man,
Yeah, they
and
were.
he couldn't get a chance, and they couldn't get the running game going.
Yeah.
Only the rushing yards came from the quarterback for the most part. Even though you got a running back like Eckler, he put the ball on the ground. It just wasn't the same ever since. Lamar Jackson, not a bad performance, man. But I was expecting a little more out of it.
Yeah, I was too.
Because the Chargers got one of the worst passing defenses in the league. So I was expecting to put up some bigger numbers than that. So they got away with it this game against the Chargers. But eventually, man, that passing gonna have to come to fruition if they're planning on changing the offense from what they were last year. But all in all, hey, it's a win. They're in first place right now. They on the bye. So everything's good for them. But hey, surprise, Chargers head coach.
Yep.
It's about time. It's
Yep.
about time.
Yep.
Man. Real soon.
Yeah.
What do you think, Josh?
Shout out to Keenan Allen. Got him on my fantasy league too. I had a really good week this week, as y'all can see. Keenan Allen is a wide receiver's dream. But this is a defensive win for the Ravens. Shout out to the defense. Bailed the Ravens out, in my opinion. The Ravens game management is concerning sometimes.
Yeah, it is.
Coaching, the way they handle certain situations in football is key. Really bad challenges. Harbaugh was just sometimes it's like, what are you?
Yeah, what you gonna do?
What are you doing?
Yeah.
You know, the offensive line needs some work for
Yeah.
the Ravens as well. But once again, they're still a complete team, even with some of those.
They're just not consistent.
Just not consistent.
Yeah.
Defense is good, but yeah, that's probably what I got.
Yeah. Jay, you got anything, man?
Yeah, the story is the Ravens forcing 4 turnovers. That defense is hitting, stripping the ball, peanut punches. They doing everything they can, and the Chargers are addicted to losing. They're addicted to just playing bad. I love the jersey choice. That all blue with the white helmet is really nice.
Old school San Diego type.
Yeah, that's really nice. And then Keenan Allen, man, he is doing too much, doing too much for this team. Yeah, he's going through it. Have you seen his shoulder?
No.
His shoulder is the same thing I got, but this is way worse. His shoulder, without his pads, the bone is sticking up. So it's like the shoulder, the bone, and then the rest of his shoulder. So it's
So I got a hump in between the shoulders.
It's a pronounced, and that's the shoulder he's doing. That's the good shoulder.
Oh,
So he's going crazy. It's just that defense. They're hungry. They're sharks. They saved the game. Lamar Jackson had way too many sub 200-yard passing games for me. And I'm they're 9-3. It's just when these playoffs come around, I have no idea what's going to happen in the AFC because KC, Baltimore, they're both juggernauts, but they're undermanned, and they're not playing the best offensively that I think they can be.
Yeah. So Joe Burrow risk gave him life.
Yep.
They gave both of these KC and Baltimore life when he got hurt.
Also, Justin Herbert is 29 wins, 31 losses. You gotta do something. You're one of quote unquote generational talent with under 50% wins. Start having that conversation.
Yeah. Hey, well, real quick, guys, I have some news. I don't know if it's breaking news, but it's news. The Raiders released cornerback Marcus Peters.
Yeah.
So got that going on as well for the Raiders. So we'll see what's up. But besides the game with Ravens and Chargers, y'all boys got anything else?
Back to Trevor Lawrence. It's time for him to get paid. Are you paying him? His contract coming up.
Yeah,
His contract's coming up.
You have to.
You have to.
You're forced. Yes, you have to pay him, and just live with what happens.
Yep.
That's not a good. I didn't even realize that.
It's
not a good situation. But you got to pay him.
He's gonna get more money than some of these guys. He's not better than. Wow.
If he gets the Joe Burrow contract, that's sick.
I mean, he's gonna have to, right? I mean, like Joe Burrow set the market up, so it's just a trend, you know. Like the highest paid quarterback sets the market for the next guy. I mean, even though he only has been to the playoffs one time,
it's not right.
You think he gets more than Lamar?
Yeah, I think
it's not right.
He does, but I just thought it ain't right.
It ain't right. I mean,
right.
Lamar has accomplished more,
Right.
but he's gonna get paid more than former MVP.
It really is. It's gonna happen here real soon.
But that's how it is, though. I mean, like it's yeah.
And you gonna in that division, you're gonna be paying that kind of money not to make the playoffs eventually.
Mm-hmm.
Because you got young quarterbacks on the rise in that division.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Calvin Ridley's also a free agent. So what are you doing? Christian Kirk's gonna come up soon. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Evan Ingram, they just gave him a contract.
ETN's third year.
Yeah.
Gonna make the option on him after this.
Josh Allen, free agent. They gonna They're gonna have to
Yeah.
make some
Right.
tough decisions.
Mm-hmm.
Josh Allen, the defensive end,
Yeah.
is a free
Yeah,
agent. That's crazy.
Speaking of Josh Allen with the Bills, Diggs ain't had a 100-yard game in 5 games.
He ain't gonna be there. It's over.
Kidding me?
Free.
This guy that went 5 straight games without 100 yards.
Yeah.
Some got to give.
Where would y'all like to see him?
Some got to give.
I wouldn't mind him see him in New York with the Giants.
Giants.
I just like to see what the quarterback's gonna be like that situation.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know what's gonna happen. Chargers. I don't know what's gonna happen there with the new head coach coming in. He can probably go out there and play with Herbert.
Yeah.
It just depends on what the new coaching staff, who's gonna be there.
Yeah. But, gentlemen, anything else
I think I'm done.
before we close out the segment? All right. Well, thank you for tuning in to the Shield Football Podcast. Like always, please like this video, share it with your friends and family out there. But other than that, guys, tune in for next week. Like always, every Mondays we're here, and hit us up. Thank you for tuning in to the Shield Football Podcast. Later.
Peace out.
Thank you.